light 'em up in the ring, light 'em up, shoot, shine, do your thing, light 'em up in the ring, light 'em up, shoot, shine, do your thing, light 'em up, go dumb, go stupid, yeah, we undefeated, sucker free, we got the seats heated, let's face it, you bout to get a beat down, less talking, let's take it to the streets now, ain't gonna be no rematch, why you wanna fight, touchdown on sight, yeah, turn off the light, oh, turn off the light, let's get it poppin', go dumb. When you see me moving, bodies dropping. Move some. I'm about to go sick, call Earl. I'm turning up like E40, not your average girl. I'm turning up. We can rock like Rocky, make you tap it. Ghost ride the whip, look at my drip. This ain't a copy. We got a night if you wanna throw hands. When they see me fight, they wanna throw bands. Go dumb, go stupid, yeah, we undefeated. Sucker free, we got the seats heated. Light 'em up in the ring, light 'em up, shoot, shine, do your thing. Light 'em up in the ring, light 'em up, shoot, shine, do your thing. Light 'em up.
It's time for the main event. It's the Shoe Shine.
¿Qué onda, vatos locos? Damas y caballeros, it's your boy Dave in the 702. Coming back at you for that Monday boxing sports recap known as the Shoe Shine. All right, excuse me, guys, for the technical difficulties. Oh, wait a minute. The co-host is here all the way from the city of brotherly love, Philly Irish. ¿Qué pasa, homie? He got the blue cup. He got the blue cup for who? The Blue Jays? The blue cup for the Blue Jays. The Blue Jays. Good to see everybody in the chat. Shout out to 702 Man Cave. AC Walker, what's good with you, man? Ain't seen you in a minute. And of course, the lovely Mom Food Planning things. Guys, it's Monday night. It was an incredible week 7 of the NFL. My 49ers came out on top. I'm extremely happy. Drew, both of our teams 5-2. Oh, shoot, your mic.
Oh, shit, the Blue Jays won?
The Blue Jays. Breaking news. Breaking news. Yeah. 702 Man Cave says, bring on the Blue Jays. What an exciting. You know what? Baseball's always best when it comes down to the seventh game.
I'm going to make the prediction on this. I'm probably going to put some money on this, too. The Blue Jays will win the World Series in 6 games. Drew Evo's second favorite baseball team wins the World Series.
You have it there. The great Drew Evo prediction that they win in 6. Wouldn't that be great if you could put money on it, guys? Great to see everybody. I'm sure the Dodgers fans would have a lot to object with that statement there. Drew, there's some really, really interesting news. Speaking of playoff baseball, October playoff baseball, it's always great when your team is in it. And a lot of people from the, Southern California were coming after the Giants fans this weekend because some Giants fans had posted. You remember Panda, our first baseman, when the Giants were a great team. They had put that he also hit 3 home runs and pitched in a National League Championship Series game. So, but let's give credit where credit is due. Ohtani is an absolute marvel of a baseball player. And I know the San Francisco Giants made an honest attempt to make him a member of the San Francisco Giants, where apparently Ohtani said, took one look with his management at the city of San Francisco. And I got to keep it 100, as they say. The city of San Francisco has gone through a lot of ups and downs. And he said flat out that wasn't the kind of city, probably referencing to all the homelessness and whatnot and the drug addiction problem that he wanted to play in. Although we got a much better looking stadium. Come on now. And quite honestly, Los Angeles' Skid Row is probably 2 or 3 times worse the problem San Francisco has. Nonetheless, I'm not salty. 3 home runs, 0 earned runs, 10 strikeouts. Boy, Dodger fans are lucky. I mean, you got to be... Fernando Gonzalez, salute. I thought I saw Fernando, and I instantly thought of Fernando Valenzuela. But anyways, props to Ohtani, Drew. Did you see some of the highlights of this performance?
Not really.
Okay, well, 3 home runs. I know your Phillies weren't in it. I mean, I know they lost, but still, you became disinterested as soon as that happened. I saw the highlights, Drew. It's freaking remarkable, unbelievable. 3 home runs and 0 earned runs. Things are so bad right here where I live in Las Vegas. The Raiders got smoked yesterday by the Kansas City Chiefs. Didn't even put up any points. Pete Carroll, Tom Brady, absolutely devastating loss. Things are so bad that I cannot believe that this is going around Las Vegas, that they actually are asking that perhaps Ohtani might want to play in the NFL. They're tripping there.
It's so bad for the Raiders. They only had 97 total yards of offense yesterday. That's really bad.
So I got to ask the chat, what do you guys think? Is there anything this man can't do? Ohtani, a quarterback? This is going around threads on social media. Ohtani, can he be converted into a quarterback?
But I gotta say something, and I think your boys very quiet, not popping no jokes, because his team lost yesterday at home.
And whose team is that?
When you go against the Super Bowl MVP like Jalen Hurts, and he makes your defense look bad. 18 of 23 for 326 yards and 3 touchdowns with a perfect passer rating against a good pass defense of Minnesota Vikings. This is the first quarterback this year to have a perfect passer rating.
You're talking about speech impediment man, by my comedian buddy, who's a big fan, such a big fan of the Vikings. He went to Ireland. I think he went to he goes to Europe for every game. You talking about speech?
Yeah.
Well, I hadn't seen. As a matter of fact, Speech is coming this Saturday to Las Vegas, Drew. So I will let him know. I'll let him know this weekend. He might be doing some comedy shows. But yeah, that was a good win. Shout out to your Eagles, 5-2. Let's look at all the teams that are 5-2. Are your teams on here, guys? I see 702 Man Cave. Very impressive performance by the Dallas Cowboys. We got the Lions, now 5-2, who just defeated the Buccaneers. And they made the Buccaneers a team that made the Niners look like trash. They made the Buccaneers look like trash. Some people thinking, that's the best team in the NFC. Well, the Lions are now 5-2, still behind the Packers because the Packers are 4-1-1 with a draw. Does anybody understand that? 4-1-1 with a draw.
They gotta stop ties in football.
Yeah, I'm not cool with that. And I saw that game. It was a thrilling game in OT that they just said, okay, the time has expired. It's a draw. Buccaneers also now come down to 5-2. They lost the game just now. And then in the NFC West, I'm keeping tabs on the Seahawks game. If you guys want to keep somebody wants to keep putting the Seahawks, but the NFC West is the best division in all of the NFC, maybe in all of the NFL this year, with the 49ers leading the pack at 5-2, but their percentage is 7-1. It's actually identical to the Rams with points fielded. Okay, at 145, just slightly ahead of the Rams, who are 5-2, and the Seahawks look like they're going to be an impressive 5-2. NFC, Drew, your team's 5-2. I mean, early predictions for how the second half of the season goes in the NFC?
I think the offense finally gets it down all the way. And after the bye week, when the bye week comes and everything, I think the offense finally gets everything put together and they become a more dangerous team. Like, the second most difficult schedule in the league, and they're 5-2. And I think people had them going. Some people had them 500, going 500. Some people had them, going 4-3. But 5-2, that ain't bad. It's not good to the teams they lost, like Denver at home and the Giants and everything. But I think it's starting to get together and everything. They couldn't do nothing. They couldn't move, but the passing game's starting to get going now. They got to start getting success running the ball, and I think that's why you got to do a little bit of RPOs going forward. But I think they're going to get the hang of it. And here's another thing: Brandon Graham has announced that he is going to unretire and sign back and rejoin the Philadelphia Eagles. That gives the Eagles defense the much needed veterans leadership it needs. and edge rushing help.
Hey, Drew, I apologize. I listened to everything you were saying, but my camera is tripping me out. Drew, you got better skin tone on your camera than I look dead. I look like I'm in a cadaver for some reason with this camera and the lighting. But shout out to Man Cave. He said Seahawks 14-0. Drew, I got to give a big shout out to the 49ers. Everybody thought that Robinson of the Atlanta team was going to run over the 49ers, but it was McCaffrey who came back as George Kittle returns to the 49ers. And even though Kittle had no receptions, Drew, he made a hell of a freaking impact in yesterday's game. I got to show you guys, nobody picked the 49ers yesterday to win. 52% of America polled for Sunday Night Football said that the Atlanta Falcons were going to defeat, but it was the other way around. Even I was talking to Man Cave earlier before the game. I said Robinson was going to be a big threat. I said it Friday night on your show. Shout out to everybody that tuned in to Drew's show on Friday night. And it was the complete opposite. It was McCaffrey having an incredible game, over 100 rushing yards, 70 reception yards, and 2 touchdowns. The offense of the 49ers comes back alive with George Kittle back on the field. Speaking of George Kittle, did you know, I've talked about this briefly before, but absolutely one of the best tight ends of all the NFL. He wants to be, and this is coming from his mouth, as soon as he retires from the NFL, he believes that he has a legitimate chance to still be healthy enough to do what is a passion and a bucket list item. He wants to wrestle for the WWE, and there's his buddy CM Punk, former wrestler, there, on the sidelines there. So amazing. Shout out to Kittle for a great performance. Drew, you brought up 2 teams that I got to talk about. Sunday Night Football, Week 7. You brought up the Giants and the Broncos. The 49ers win was a very solid win yesterday, but what the Broncos and Bo Nix did last night, right prior to that 49ers game, was something of unfreaking believable. The best stories in sports this weekend is Ohtani's incredible performance and Bo Nix and the Denver Broncos. Drew, you brought them both up. Those are your 2 losses for the Philadelphia Eagles?
Yeah.
And I want to say that the New York Giants should not have the record they have. God honest, the New York Giants record does not, a young Jackson Dart. And then there's that running back. Is it Katibo? You know what I'm talking about? Is it, guys, help me out. Is it Katibo? Skatibo. Skatibo's lifelong dream is to be a 49er. He was passed on this, draft class. The guy scored another touchdown. Losing the game by 1 point, 19 and up. They were up 19-0, and the Denver Broncos rallied back 33 points in the fourth quarter. 33. Just when I thought, Jackson Dart comes up with another touchdown, and I'm like, well, there's no way that, Denver can come back and win this game. And they do. 33-32, the best game. Probably the best comeback I have seen in all season long, and one of the very finest I've seen. You guys got to go watch the highlights on this, man. Unbelievable game, Bo Nix. So, Drew, do you agree? I mean, the Giants are really, their record doesn't reflect their grit, right?
I'm going to be honest. They probably should have had one more win.
At least 3 and 5? At least one?
I think they would have. I think they should have beaten the Cowboys with Russell Wilson. But the Giants, I think the Giants just, they put about a lot of self-inflicted wounds on themselves. Now you got, it's more likely now Brian Gable is coaching for his job now after this loss. And they got to go to Philly now. And the Eagles are wearing the Kelly Green jerseys this weekend. So, they have a great record with the Kelly Green jerseys on at home. And I think this Eagles team is pissed off from the other game. And I don't think they're not going to sweep the Eagles. So it depends on how bad the Eagles beat the Giants is whether or not this coach is going to keep his job or not. It's just Yes, they just got to look at it. I think the Eagles' defense is playing a lot better now than they did in the recent weeks. I think that if I really, Quignon came back from a hamstring injury, so he had to get his ass back in it. Cooper DeJean broke up a nice pass to Justin Jefferson in the end zone, which Justin Jefferson said it was on him, but it wasn't. No, he broke it up, DeJean. And the pick six, the other pick from our rookie Makuba. I really think this is going to be. I think this game could have broken the Giants. That they gave up this much of a lead and gave up 33 points in a quarter.
Unbelievable to do so. Hard loss for the New York Giants. I sympathize for them, but I see a lot of potential, and it'd be something if that running back Skatibo ends up on the 49ers. McCaffrey had an incredible game, but there's running backs only have so much time and career-wise in the NFL. Coming off that, he himself has had numerous injuries at this point. That'd be something. I'm going to keep watching Skatibo as his career develops if he ends up on the 49ers someday as one of their running backs. Like I mentioned, a Northern California guy, and a lot of pictures. You can go and see all of the pictures of him and his dad at 49ers games. All right, the Seahawks games, guys, is 14-3. Shout out to Sarah. Appreciate you. Good to see Sarah H up in here, Urban NV. Make sure you guys go follow these two awesome female content creators right here on YouTube on this amazing platform, Urban NV. She does plenty of good content, great content out of Las Vegas. And of course, our great friend Mom Food, also an amazing female content creator here in Las Vegas. So Drew, do you think we're ready to transition into, well, actually I wanted to share a good picture because this is also going along in 49ers threads on Twitter and whatnot, Drew, is the fact that our quarterback, he's an elite athlete, but a lot of people love Mac Jones. Mac 10, Mac Jones, because he represents every guy that watches football on Sunday. Mac Jones, every bit the dad bod that most NFL fans on Sunday have right there. Mac Jones, elite athlete with the dad bod. Shout out to Mac 10 winning this game for the 49ers. Well, Drew, boxing kind of, the best we can talk about this weekend for the sport of boxing is the fact that two of yesteryear's greatest welterweights, and now the conversation is going to slightly move into whether or not both of these gentlemen have a shot at the Hall of Fame. The conversation has begun for two fighters who fought this weekend on completely different platforms. In fact, one of them is somebody that I had the pleasure to meet numerous times in Las Vegas when he was a commentator in his early career as a fighter, and even gave me a 90-minute interview one time that I do no longer, it was on a different platform. I no longer have it. 90 minutes on the phone with Paulie Malignaggi. He comes back. Bare Knuckle Fighting Championships. I hope that this is okay for YouTube. This is cleaned up, guys. 44 years old, comes back to Bare Knuckle Fighting Championships this weekend and wins. Busts up his hands. There is an Instagram quick, everybody wants to know. Let me see, do I have it here? Here we go.
And think, and your better mind starts getting the in your head, and you start thinking. I'm probably still got to do a lot of thinking now, but I thought to myself, this is 2 times I've done it, and like I said, both times I've done it, I started out dominating my opponent, and then my opponent winds up fighting their way back into the fight, not because of anything they're doing, but mostly because my output, my punch output, winds up diminishing because my hands are hurting so badly. And that diminished output ends up, making the fight competitive, and they work their way back into it. So I was thinking to myself that they're 5-round fights, but a title fight is 6 rounds. So it's even one more round if I want to win a title, And it seems like, based on my experience in 2 fights of doing this, it seems like I have 3 good rounds of my hands, and that's it. So I don't know. I got to think about it. Can I score a knockout in the first 3 rounds? With bare hands and in a title fight, or am I just wasting my time trying to do a 6-round title fight because my hands aren't going to last?
Drew, Paulie Malignaggi, champion at 140 pounds, champion at welterweight, wins at 44 years old. His second attempt at a victory in bare knuckle fighting championship. He gets the win. It was a incredibly interesting fight to watch. Shout out to Carlos. Shoot, I got a Twitter clip if
the Magic Man in
straight off of Twitter, guys. Look at the ring too. The ring is a triangle.
Paulie coming out swinging.
Yeah, probably. I don't want to get a copyright over that. But guys, the brutal sport. Even I don't like watching it. I typically don't watch it at all. But I did watch Paulie, who fought in the UK this weekend. There was a second bare knuckle fighting championship fight. This guy was game. 10 years younger than him. Absolutely brutal. Some good display of boxing and showmanship from both of these guys. And it didn't take long before both of these fighters sustained serious cuts to the face, Drew. But what about that? What about the fact that Paulie acknowledges that his hands, in his boxing career, he had some serious hand injuries throughout his career. And he's being offered a welterweight opportunity to potentially fight for the bare knuckle welterweight championship. But he doesn't think his hands would last 6 rounds. He says after 3 rounds, his hands are jacked. And honestly, I believe him 100%.
Well, you're fighting with your bare hands. You got no padding around them. They're not even taped up around the knuckles and everything. And, like, you're constantly using them and throwing. Your hands are going to hurt eventually because, like, there's no padding there, and you're hitting fresh. And, like, you're getting hit with fresh, too, so there's more of an opportunity to cut. And the worse, and you can get cut too, worse. So, with his history of having hand issues and everything, you will think, like, I never thought Paulie would succeed in bare knuckle. Mainly because he didn't have power, and I didn't think his hands would hold up a full fight. And his foot, he has to be on his P's and Q's not to get nailed, and he was getting nailed.
Yeah, he did a fairly good job. I thought it was a pretty good, very entertaining fight. But again, I got to ask, as a fan of Paulie's career and his commentating career, and he's had his ups and downs. At one point, they tried to cancel him over some political free speech. Why, Paulie? Paulie did not. After this fight, he is still open to fighting again at 44 years old. I put it as the thumbnail, guys. What makes champions, former champions, great fighters of yesteryear, what makes them want to keep fighting? Is it the fact that Manny Pacquiao just nearly beat Mario Barrios months ago in Las Vegas at the MGM Grand for the welterweight title of the world, Drew? Paulie Malignaggi today on record said that he would entertain a fight with Mario Barrios at a welterweight, for the welterweight title at 140. Everybody wants Mario Barrios. Everybody, including Ryan Garcia, Manny Pacquiao, and now Paulie Malignaggi. Everybody wants it.
I look at it like Paulie never had power. And Paulie, after, like, if you can beat Paulie to the punch, you're going to beat him 9 times out of 10 because he's a boxer. But if you beat him to the punch and punch with him, you're going to win the fight 9 times out of 10. It was always like that when you're fighting Paulie Malignaggi. And that's the unfortunate part. He had no power, so you can go move forward and everything, and you could take one of his shots and you can give like 5 or 6 of your shots. That's the unfortunate part with Paulie. In the mid part of his career. Yeah,
140 pounds. Also won the title at 100 at welterweight. And 10 years ago, nearly 10 years ago, in a couple of months, Paulie Malignaggi faced your guy from Philadelphia, Danny Garcia, at 147 pounds. It's been nearly 10 years. Both of them come away winners this weekend. Although Danny Garcia's face sustained virtually no damage, I would have preferred to have seen Paulie Malignaggi fight in the boxing ring. As the injuries, again, I don't want to show horrible injuries you sustained fighting bare knuckle. But 10 years ago, it's been 10 years. Is this Danny Garcia's last fight? Drew, from what I understand, the fight did not sell that well. He said farewell to Brooklyn, not farewell to his career. Danny Garcia also comes away with his own fourth round stoppage this weekend. Thank you guys. Make sure you hit that like, man. It's free. Help us out. Help this channel grow by just hitting that like button. And if you like the content, hit the subscribe. But Danny Garcia, Drew, a fourth round KO of someone that never fought at welterweight. This fight was kind of designed for him to walk away as a winner. He gets it. The patented famous left hook Danny Garcia was so famous for. What did you think of his performance?
It was a guy he should have beaten. This guy was a journeyman. This guy had 4 losses already. Like, he was a relatively unknown. And this was a send-off fight, if you look at it. Like, do I expect him to fight again? I'll be honest. What is there to prove? I don't think Danny should fight again. I think he should go out in the sunset. He made he has a lot of investments. He's set for life with the investments he made. He's making a lot of money, even without boxing.
Mm-hmm.
I think Danny should be all right for right now, unless, I think Danny with what he did, that money's probably going to get invested into something. And that's the one thing with Danny. Danny was smart with his money. So if Danny, the activity and everything, Danny was still making money.
Yeah, actually, you make a great point about financial wisdom, Drew. Danny Garcia has done remarkably well with his investments in his career. I remember recently I had seen a thing not too far back where, to be honest, he had been pretty humble with all of his earnings, investing mainly in real estate and investing in things that would provide him a future for him and his family members. And I think he barely recently bought himself a Lamborghini SUV, and that was just well into near the end of his career. Paulie Malignaggi has also always been incredibly smart with his money, owning a very nice house in Long Island and owning several businesses. Shout out to Darius. Appreciate you being here. Shout out to Big Spooky. If you're new to the channel, consider subscribing and hitting that like button. We're talking boxing. We're talking NFL. It's a sports channel, guys. This is a quote from Instagram. At the end of the day, I'm healthy and I've got a beautiful family. I don't know if I'm done yet. There you go. Both of these fighters leaving it completely up in the air if they will fight. I think, Drew, I got to be real. 154-pound division is so red hot that I could see him taking a fight with somebody, even somebody maybe like with Tim Tszyu, or if he could finagle his way into a potential title opportunity at 154 pounds. I think he still has a big name. Obviously, the fight didn't probably sell as well as he wanted to, but he's a big name that a lot of hungry younger fighters might want to consider. If he would consider that, potentially, he considered it against at 160 pounds for the title, right? Of course, that fighter was much older, but don't you think he has a chance at a big fight at 154?
I think that 160 fight still is going over him, because it showed how mentally checked out he was and everything. And I don't know. I think you go out on a winning note.
I like it. I like it for both of these guys.
Concentrate on something. Concentrate on, if you still want to get into that business, if you still want to stay in the boxing, probably become a secondary promoter and move your way up and everything. Or get in the commentary. There's still some opportunities for him, but the fight again, I don't think he should fight again and everything. It's not is he a Hall of Famer? He's borderline. You could say he's borderline because he's a multi-division champion, unified champion, and everything. But I think it might be, there's not really nothing else he can do and everything. It's not like he's going to become a title holder again.
Well, I appreciate your honesty. 702 Man Cave. I don't know if he's referring to Paulie or Danny Garcia, because Danny Garcia has shown that even at his advanced age of 38, he's still got that left hook power. Look at the champions of yesteryear. Now, Keith Thurman's got the question mark. His fight with Sebastian Fundora was supposed to take place this Saturday at the MGM Grand, mysteriously postponed, put off, now being rescheduled. But Keith Thurman at 38 years old was ready, and he was pissed. I played you guys what he said the other day. He didn't really believe Fundora's injury was genuine or serious enough to call off the fight. He's questionable, meaning he's still going to fight. He still wants to fight. Sean Porter, officially retired. Danny Garcia, he's not officially retired in my eyes. An X, more like a question mark. What do you think about that one right there?
Errol Spence. Tell you the truth, even if he does come back, he's gonna be food for somebody.
Wow, I definitely agree on that. Sorry to the Spence fans. Now, Kell Brook, I just read Kell Brook is coming to fight on a Ricky Hatton. He's coming out of retirement. Ricky Hatton, shout out to him and all his family. Rest in peace to great Ricky Hatton. You guys know, unfortunately, just like the son of Arturo Gotti Jr., they both passed away from suicide in the past month. Kell Brook is coming out of retirement. He will be fighting. And of course, Terrence Crawford, who, by the way, did you see Terrence Crawford has an amazing YouTube channel, Drew? I started watching his Japan vlog. You want to talk about vlog? He's got professional camera people, but that Japan vlog is extremely interesting. Check that out on YouTube, guys. Terrence Crawford.
He's trying to get more involved with his fans and everything. Trying to get notice out there more, which is something he should have done a while ago, but he's doing it now, so there's nothing wrong with that. Good move on his part. Probably get him more of a money fights and everything.
Yeah,
but
or it could be maybe he's angling at a farewell fight in Japan.
Or he's just picking up a secondary income.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. Here's something I want to talk about. And I think we haven't. This is something that should be brought up. The Muhammad Ali Act being reversed.
All right. Well, that's great. Let's start with the video, Drew. Let's start with the video and we'll break it down. I got Oscar De La Hoya's clapback, and this is specifically about the Muhammad Ali Act. Everybody is very upset. A lot of people are upset. Hardcore boxing fans are upset. Promoters are upset. Old school fight fans are upset. Oscar took to social media for his classic Clapback Thursday. I'm going to get your response right now. If you haven't heard it, Drew, I'm going to play a little bit of it right here.
So something happened yesterday that the entire boxing community is questioning. The California State Athletic Commission held an under-the-radar hearing in which they voted to approve the proposed changes to the Muhammad Ali Act.
So first and foremost, Drew, the California State Athletic Commission, one of the most powerful ones, obviously a lot of the fights take place at LA, has approved. They've given the green light, the thumbs up for Dana White's revisions of the Muhammad Ali Act.
TKO has been begging for these changes so they can fuck fighters over with their new league. Fighters and managers called into the first hearing back in September and expressed major concern about the changes being made to the act. So the commission said they would discuss it further in December. But suddenly, they voted and approved it yesterday.
Drew, what do you think about that? They said that they would meet in December. A lot of people probably in the industry wanted to attend the hearing, and they had it in secrecy and voted yes without having, like you go to city council, if it was a local government, people get to speak on it and object. They did not offer that. What do you think about California doing that?
It's sneaky. It shouldn't have been. It shouldn't be an official vote because you have to have some type of presence at one of these hearings to do one of those things. You can't do it in private. So this should not even count it. And so I'm going to speak fully about this after hearing this.
All right. I'm going to continue to play it.
My opinion.
All right. And we'll get all of your opinion.
ignoring all public voices. I am so disappointed in them. It looks like MMA Players Association is so outraged that they're going to sue over this shady behavior, according to their comments on Twitter. Now, this is the same group who won a $375 million previous suit against the UFC for treating the fighters like shit. I mean, no other promoter has tried to change this act because there's no reason to. We believe in fair business. But you have these TKO scumbags who need it to change. I mean, look at their plans. Dana said openly that they will be honoring one belt, their own belt. They want to eliminate all other belts, the rich boxing history that comes along with the entire sport.
They want to eliminate all belts. They don't want to acknowledge all the other 4 sanctioning bodies, obviously, because then, then it makes the TKO belt obsolete. But what about the fact, Drew, that he works closely with Turkey, who owns Ring Magazine, and then there's always been the prestigious Ring Magazine belt. What about that belt? It's TKO belt and Ring belt, right?
Yeah, so let's look at it like this. I'm gonna say my full opinion on it right now. The Muhammad Ali Act really allows them to do what they want to people that sign with them. But let's not be wrong. The other promoters can go with business as usual. They don't have to apply by these pay scales that TKO's doing. And the sanctioning bodies is business as usual. Like, those fighters will be in their rankings and don't want to fight. Hey, you don't want to fight, you be removed from the rankings. But even if they were to offer them more money. Now, the conflict's going to be like this. Are they going to, is TKO or is Dana White going to prevent one of his fighters that has a chance at a title, a sanctioning body title, and being offered a $3 million purse to not fight in it or not allow him to fight for that to make money? When you're only at most in a title fight, you're only going to pay him $750,000. Like, this is why this is why I don't see this lasting. And this is, I think, Turkey's Alex Sheik's plan to ruin boxing and to turn it into something stupid for an American boxing, stupid. I think these guys that are signing with them are with PBC and they're not getting picked up by anybody else. And I can at least make money. But how many times a year are you going to fight and make that money?
Well, he talked about his pay structure, and he's given loose guidelines about how often he'd like his fighters to fight. Drew, I don't know. I'll read Wiley's comment. Wiley says, Zuffa Boxing will be a lower tier league. It all comes down to the money.
Exactly.
It feels like not Team Combat League in a sense, but it feels like a contender series, and they're kind of marketing it as like a contender series where fighters you've never heard of will emerge to be champions, right?
It's going to be in the minor leagues of boxing
before they go to a real promoter.
No, it's going to be I call Zuffa Boxing the minor league of boxing because I can go, you're going to give me a title shot at that belt, and you're only going to pay me $750,000, maybe between $300,000 to $750,000. Where I got offered a WBO title shot, and I'm going to make $1.5 to $2 million. I'll take the $1.5, $2 million.
You are not going to attract the top level in the sport of boxing. You're absolutely right, Drew. It makes perfect sense for a young fighter coming out of the amateur system, a highly touted amateur who has not been courted by Top Rank, like say you're not Emiliano Vargas, you're not Xander Zayas, you're good. You're not on the Olympic team. You didn't make the Olympic team, but yet you still look like you're a promising professional boxer. That's who it's going to be geared for.
Yeah. And I look at it like this. They go with all these other, the California approved it, but these other sanctioning bodies, the Nevada Athletic Commission.
I haven't heard anything about them yet, but God, if they approve it just like California does, Drew, it's over. New York and Nevada approving it.
I don't think New York's going to approve it.
Or maybe they have more common sense.
I don't think the East Coast are going to fall in line with it. I think the East Coast. I think if you look at it, these promoters are going to say, "Hey, like Top Rank, they don't have a network yet. They're going to have to figure out a network eventually." And but it's like these promoters aren't really. It's business as usual at the end of the day. Like, they don't have to fall in line with it. Let Zuffa do their own thing. It's not going to be competitive to you guys, and call it a day. And that's all I really got to say about it. But here's the other thing. Here's something funny as shit that I was reading today. Devin Haney is threatening to sue DAZN and other platforms that have the Ryan Garcia fight still on the platform.
702 Man Cave sent me that, Drew. I said, at this point, he's just going to sue anybody. At this point, everybody. The next thing you're going to hear is he's suing a podcast, if you don't watch what you say.
I'm sorry, but I'm going to say this right now. Devin Haney's is a weak person.
Man, that fight is coming up so soon. Guys, Devin Haney versus Brian Norman, November 22nd. There are a few things I'm looking forward to in the sport of boxing in the month of November and December, and that is one of them, Drew.
I just want to know if Devin loses this fight, are we going to hear excuses? Is he going to try to sue to keep his O?
Well, I was watching one of the channels, one of these YouTube channels. There was some boxing. A lot of it came on YouTube. The WBC. I give a shout out to the WBC who've been putting on that tournament. Well, in the chat, a lot of people were talking about the Devin Haney upcoming fight, and the consensus in chat is that Brian Norman is going to knock him out into the next century. I mean, I'm just telling you what the chat's saying, man. Nobody's giving Devin Haney a chance coming up in November.
He takes a good shot. He takes a nice, clean shot. He may get knocked out.
We don't know yet the effects of that Ryan Garcia. Usually, like you said, Miss Bitch says Devin the Tekashi 69 of boxing, and there's a Tekashi 69 interview that just came out today. It's crazy, guys, crazy. Well, Drew, let's take a quick second here to talk about some of the fights and things I did see this weekend. Speaking of Philadelphia, guys, this fight right here, undefeated Polish heavyweight Damian Knajba. Both of these guys are Polish fighters, but the guy I really enjoy watching is Joey Deweczko, who is a blue-collar guy from Philadelphia. You may have seen him fight. He fought Richard Torres there on the upper corner of my screen. But this Polish heavyweight, 6'7", now improves to 18-0. Or maybe it's 17-0. Very impressive knockout. Also fought this weekend on the card of MVP Contender Series. Former champion Metcalf fight under Christine Lopez in the ring with Christine. Shout out to her on YouTube. Many champions she's trained. Now she's got a new corner. Here you see her with Nonito Donaire shortly before their fight, the MVP fight. She came away a winner. She's now 41 years old and won her fight. She just recently lost her title on that Netflix all-women's card. The Ring Magazine WBC Grand Prix semifinals. This is something I'm extremely invested in, Drew. Kevin Ramirez of Argentina here. He drops Dante Stone. This fight went the distance, 6 rounds. You guys can see the knockdown right there. Unbelievable. He is a cruiserweight who is now going to be in the finals, the WBC tournament. I love a good tournament. Drew, he is a cruiserweight. He weighs 200 pounds. I weigh more than him, and he has won every fight. He is now going to be fighting in the finals for this WBC tournament. And I, honest to God, think his brother is a former cruiserweight champion. I think this guy has a huge potential to really ramp up a big career. I think he's going to lose. Let me just show you guys who he's going to be fighting at that champion, because the other one, oh, did I lose his picture? The guy's huge. He will be fighting a full-fledged heavyweight, but nonetheless, I think I did lose his picture. Also on that card, Drew, this guy Mosquera, Brandon Mosquera Mejia, fantastic featherweight prospect. Fantastic. I mean, this guy has sparred with all the top. He sparred numerous times with Navarrete in training camps. Vicious body shots. He advanced. He's a featherweight to watch in this great tournament. It was pretty good. I'm really entertained by that. Did you get a chance to watch any of that WBC tournaments?
Nah.
Miss Bitch, Holy Queen, gold all the way. You want my stock pick? I do not take my investment portfolio as professional advice. It is strictly for entertainment purposes, but there it is. There it is. IAUI, I believe. That's the one I hold a lot of gold in. Man, that's all I really got for this weekend, Drew. That's all I really got for this week. Anything else you could think of that happened this week?
Nah, I really think boxing's slowing down, man. Like it's becoming more quiet.
It is.
And I don't know. It's the decline's coming, guys. It's how it is. It's unfortunate, but the decline's coming in boxing. And
we had somebody in the chat last week saying American boxing, they're new to our channel, said American boxing feels like it's dead, right? By the way, there it is, guys, the video.
Dead.
There's the video of Kevin Ramirez of Argentina, who will be fighting. He's a cruiserweight, and he finds himself in the heavyweight finals from that WBC Grand Prix heavyweight. That's what he really looks like. Damn, there's a big size disparity.
Here's the thing. American boxing is dead. Like, if you look at it, it's just the way that is being presented is not being presented in the right way. And plus you ain't going to have fans like the UK fans that, but it's just something really is not there. And it's like the people, like, with the intent, avoiding each other and everything. It's just not a good look at all. And like the BS that's going on now, it's just too much BS going on in boxing. You got the guy, you got the guy that's that everybody claimed was the face of boxing, Tank Davis, goes and instead of getting a rematch, he ducks the dude like he ducks everybody else and goes gets a money grab with Jake Paul.
Yeah, so, it was not a good look. And by the way, again, shout out to Danny Garcia, who had an incredible knockout. If you missed it, because a lot of people were asking me, where do I watch it? But here it is again from my Twitter account here. Here's the left hook. He still got it. Well, he's got it against lesser tier opponents, at least. He still got it. Otani had an incredible playoff series. We now know who are going to be in the World Series beginning next week. And I just await some good boxing. Here's some stuff coming up, guys. November 22nd, obviously. This is going to be one of the best cards Riyadh season has put together, in my opinion. Benavidez versus Yard. Can't wait to debate that one with you, Drew. Abdullah Mason of Top Rank with no television deal yet announced. Will be on the card. Jesse Bam Rodriguez in a unification match with Fernando Martinez. That promises to be explosive. Here's some more upcoming fights, Drew. November 15th, the rematch. Eubank Jr. versus Conor Benn 2. I just mentioned Benavidez versus Yard. Haney's on that card. Well, look how they bunched that all up. And then December 27th, Inoue versus Picasso and Nakatani versus Hernandez. There is a Top Rank card that I hope to talk about. I don't know if 702 Man Cave is still on here, but this Top Rank co-promoted card is going to feature a lot of Top Rank talent, including Richard Torres, Emiliano Vargas, current featherweight champion. But it is a show in Mexico, and I hope to God, people are joking. They're saying, "Shit, are we going to watch that on Facebook? Is this going to be on Facebook? Where are we going to watch Top Rank? It cannot be on Facebook. If it's on Facebook, boxing seriously could be dead in the U.S. They say Vegas is dead, but boxing could be truly dead if we don't get some good news here in the U.S. Drew. Thursday night football. Are you down after their Thursday night football to do our picks?
Yeah.
All right, man. I'm good. If you guys are new to the channel, come back Thursday. We're going to do our epic Thursday night analysis post Thursday night football and do our picks and predictions for NFL Week 8. Drew did a show on Friday night. It was his birthday. We now had both of our birthdays, and I want to extend a deep and birthday wishes to all the Libras out there that'll be celebrating this weekend. Shout out to my boy F Donuts. If you hear this, he's got his birthday weekend coming up too, and all the other YouTube content creators. Drew, anything you want to add?
Can't really think of anything.
Well, Drew, I just wanted to bring it to your attention, guys. We are on YouTube. 702 Man Cave says he's going to try to find out how we can watch it. We'll talk about that card because that card coming up at the beginning of November is actually going to be very entertaining. And I hope most sports fans can watch that because I think the card is really good. A lot of talent on that card, some world title fights, opportunities. But I wanted to say, Drew, really quick before the show ends, the past month in boxing, we've had some really sad, tragic news. Ricky Hatton on the Canelo Alvarez fight night with Terrence Bud Crawford. Passed away reportedly from suicide. And then just a week or two ago, Arturo Gotti's Jr. son, 17 years old, passed away as well. Reportedly, it's called a suicide, Drew. There is a YouTuber that I watch. Not typical of me to announce this, but I do enjoy prison genre channels. A lot of it because I'm from Northern California, Drew. And a very large YouTuber, I would say he's a great content creator who reformed his life and was trying to help people using his platform on YouTube. I just found out today, Drew, that he passed away as well. So rest in peace to him, and condolences to everybody, his family, and everybody that watches his channel. Mental health is real. Mental health issues are real, and men don't talk about it enough, Drew. And it's crazy that people feel that they have to fight their demons alone. So just wanted to bring that again to everybody's attention, man. You know what I'm saying? Like if you know somebody's going through some depression or something like that, reach out to them. Find out how they're doing. Ask them, how are you doing, man? How are you doing? Because a lot of times guys keep that shit inside, Drew, and then you hear tragic news like this. You know, tragic news nobody wants to hear. I'm Dave in the 702, Drew. I'll see you on Thursday, man. Peace out, everybody. Everybody have a great night. Peace.